This video is for the man I was supposed to go on a date with earlier. We kept going back and forth on where we should meet. He said he's happy to meet anywhere. I said, well, what are we gonna do? And he said, well, it depends on where you wanna meet. And then he said, this is a real chicken and egg situation going on here. I eventually said, I don't think that this is gonna work out for me. And he said, no worries, thank you for letting me know. And I said, no problem. I just want someone to tell me where to be, what time, what to wear. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. I do it for myself every day. I just want a man to do it for me once. Please, please.
Women constantly claim they don't want men to be controlling, manipulating, or micromanaging them, yet now they suddenly want a man to dictate the entire evening, right down to telling them what they should wear on a date. Luckily, this guy caught that bullshit early and instantly called the whole thing quits.
He walked you home. He didn't try to kiss you. He asked for your number. He didn't give you his number. And when he asked for your number, he didn't say texting you now so you have it. He didn't call you saying that's my number. Did that work? Did I write that down? He just, oh, thanks for your number. Bye. Walked away. It's been a week. You haven't heard from him. He has your number. He hasn't heard from. No. Ole, ole, ole. If I can hate you. He doesn't hate you, but he doesn't like you.
First of all, what is even going on with her hands? Honestly annoying. Women get rejected so politely these days, they don't even realize it's happening, and they still absolutely struggle to process it.
I met this guy on Hinge and I've been talking to him for a while, but like he was really bad at answering back. I was just like, okay, maybe like he doesn't have notifications up on his phone, like whatever. So it took a while. Like we've been talking for almost a month and he like was not asking me out. And I'm like, I'm not here to have a pen pal, okay? Anyways, finally he asked me out and he said like last week, he's like, okay, let's go to dinner on Saturday. I was like, okay, great. What time? He never gave me a time. And then this morning he messaged me and was like, hey, how does 7:30 work? Which is like a bit frustrating because it's like you didn't communicate that, but whatever. I was like, yeah, that works. And he goes, okay, don't forget your wallet. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, what? I responded with, oh, I always have my wallet with me. His response is what really got me. He goes, well, some girls choose to leave their wallet at home because they think the guy should pay on the first day, and I think that is stupid. And listen, would I like the guy to pay on the first day? Of course we do. Like, of course I do. But I don't mind splitting. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's okay. I don't expect it. And he's like, good, because it really shouldn't be a man's problem and blah, 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 blah. He went off on this like entire rant about how women kind of suck. And I was like, oh, okay. I think you actually don't like women. So I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this date. He's like, no, I like women. I said, no, I know. I think you like women, but I don't think you actually like women. You want to be with a woman, but you don't actually like her. And he's like, no, I do. I was like, okay, well, based off of this rant that you went on that was like 2 paragraphs long, doesn't seem like you do. And then I unmatched him. So no date tonight. That's okay though. I'd rather not waste my time with somebody who hates women. Again, like, do I want a guy to pay on the first date? Of course I do. But does he have to? No. Like, I always have my card with me and I'll always offer to split. I hope they don't have to. And is that fine? Yeah, it's totally fine.
This is a classic case of entitlement slamming headfirst into reality. Granted that the guy might have sounded a little aggressive when he told her to bring her wallet, but you just know he's entirely fed up with funding free meals for women and getting absolutely nothing genuine in return. She claims she was totally fine splitting the bill, but she's somehow deeply offended by the way she perceived his rant. That dramatic reaction is exactly what happens when a man has been repeatedly taken advantage of. He simply learned to set an ironclad boundary up front, and she couldn't handle the honesty. At this point, she's just furiously protecting her own ego. She knows she cannot handle communicating properly with a man who is direct and straightforward. What she truly wants is the old game, where she gets the benefits of the date without the commitment, and he pays for the privilege of her company. The second she was asked to be an equal participant, the whole charade fell apart.
Supposed to go on a date tonight. The guy same day canceled. Wanted to reschedule. I told him no. I gotta tell you about this situation. First of all, where did I meet him? I met him playing a volleyball tournament. I'm trying to block my friends because I don't want to impede on their privacy, but look how absolutely delicious I looked. I looked scrum-diddly-umptious at this volleyball tournament. Moment of silence for the waist, the boobs, the thighs. I know this sounds egotistical. Guys, had a guy cancel on me, okay? I'm trying to hype myself up right now. Come on, I look delicious. The guy approached me at the tournament. He said, listen, my friends don't think I have a shot with you, but I just had to try. Love that opening line. Then he bought me some tacos. We talked for like 15 minutes. He seemed like a nice, normal guy. I gave him my number. Asked me out to dinner tonight, but then he texted me earlier today, and guys, I can't get over this text. He said he got into an argument with his parents yesterday. It's just put him into a sad energy, so he needs to cancel. At first, I didn't even respond because I'm like, you got into an argument with your parents and you want to cancel your date plans? Like, how old are we?
You barely know anything about that guy. You don't know what he's truly going through or what actually happened between him and his parents. But trust me, that man seriously tried. He probably spent hours agonizing over the decision to cancel because he genuinely felt it just wasn't a good idea.
And then he texted me again and said, like, you know, when I have a girl, like, I treat her really well, but like, I value flexibility, which I was really nice, but I was like, I value consistency and actions over words. I don't need grand promises about how you treat someone in the future. I need to see good behavior up front. I told him I hope he works everything out with his parents, and I just left it at that. And he texted me a couple times, I just didn't even respond. I gotta talk a little shit about LA guys. They're so fragile. You got into an argument with your parents? That's life. An argument with a friend, a disagreement with your boss. We're adults, you gotta keep on chugging, buddy. How is this guy gonna act when something actually happens? Not just like normal family drama. He's gonna crumble to pieces if like this is how he acts with just a normal family disagreement. Anyway, it's so interesting. I texted my girlfriends. Half of them are like, give him a chance. The other half are like, ew, disgusting. I think we can all agree that like flakiness is just unattractive. Canceling plans same day, unattractive. Making future promises of how they're gonna treat you is unattractive. Just bring good behavior now. Delicious though, delicious.
All I can hear is a woman's ego already half buried in the ground. She got completely humbled because she truly thinks of herself as some kind of delicious prize. Maybe the guy was genuinely upset about the family matters he mentioned and didn't want to bring sad energy to the date. But of course, she immediately jumped on TikTok to twist the story, make herself feel better, and call men fragile.
My date just canceled on me tonight because he found my TikTok. And that's really unfortunate because this is like the first time where social media has been like not a detriment, but has like negatively harmed me.
Kudos to that man for having boundaries. But unfortunately, he still got a video made about him, which is honestly the entire missed point here. The problem is not that you're on social media. The problem is your content, because if you look at 3 or 4 videos back, every other video you're talking about some date. So yeah, if the man that's looking to take you out on a date finds your social media and your content is all about bashing guys that have taken you on dates, that is a man that is way smarter than signing up for that. Like, I don't know what to tell you, ladies. You think that men agree with you when you think that most men are terrible. Like, most men, especially good men, by the way, they know that most men are good men. I would actually question the men that say that there aren't good men out there, that they're mostly bad men. I would question those guys because I think they might just be projecting. But hey, that's my 2 cents, and let this be a lesson that it's not just about social media, it's how you present yourself as a whole in public, social media or not.
You know, this woman is actually only speaking facts, and you can clearly see that men are becoming truly self-aware. They aren't just setting boundaries anymore, they are actually enforcing them. I mean, imagine this. You set up the date, drive to her place, take her to a nice restaurant, pay for the entire dinner, take her home, and then before you even go to sleep, you see her on TikTok making fun of you. Honestly, maybe he shouldn't have even canceled. He should have just let her wait for hours and hours and then blocked her number entirely. But props to that guy for being a gentleman about it. Oh, and here's your reminder to subscribe to the channel.
I have a date in 45 minutes and he just canceled on me. In fairness to him, his dog is sick and he has to take his dog to the hospital. So like, very valid reason. But I kid you not when I say I just pulled out my hair. I just sprayed it, got it going, was like ready to go. And I got the text. And do you ever get a text when you're going on a date or you're talking to someone and you just know there's something about, I don't know, something was like, ooh, I feel like it's a canceling text. And it was. And before anyone's like, ooh, maybe he's lying, maybe his dog isn't sick, he did text me earlier in the day saying he was dealing with a sick dog. So like, I do think he's being honest. But now I'm all dressed up and I have nowhere to go. So do I go on a date on my own? I have to leave the house. Like I'll show you my outfit. Really nothing special at all. I'm literally in a black tube top little trousers, and then I was gonna have a little jacket, and then my slippers. But I was, gonna have a whole moment. Anyways, I'm a little bummed. I was really looking forward to this date. And now I'm kind of worried because it's actually the second time that he's rescheduled, and both have been legitimate reasons. Like, neither of them have been questionable in my eyes. But now that it's twice, I'm just kind of like, oh, is it an excuse? Either way, I'm gonna try to figure out how to leave the house because I feel cute and I now have no purpose of where to bring it to. So I'll bring it to you first. Said stop.
You know she's furious simply because he had a legitimate reason to cancel that date. She knows perfectly well that she can't actually blame the guy. When my dog died, I couldn't even manage to eat for 3 days straight. She obviously still wants that third attempt, if only to revive that pathetic dying ego of hers. I think she knows the truth. She knows it. She absolutely definitely knows. So yes, she knows. And that's it for this video, guys. If you stayed until the end, please leave a like and drop your thoughts in the comments section. As always, see you on the next one. Peace.